Dialubis and the Minotaur. Dialubis was having a day off, and she was practicing pistol shooting at the shooting range on the Europa moon. After her encounters with Morgul the Red Dragon and Grashdown the Green Troll, she had realized that she needed to train her physique and her shooting skills. Being the royal chef of the Malaysian Space Empire was a dangerous job, and in order to survive, she had to be the best in the world at what she did. Dia stared in awe as Princess Irulan Ramahandran walked up next to her and started shooting at the targets. Much to Dia's dismay, Princess Irulan was a better shooter than she was. The princess put down her pistol, took off her earbuds, and spoke. Dialubis, I have a new job for you. This will be a challenging one. Dia looked at the princess in anticipation and replied, I'm listening, Princess Irulan. Eric Buckerzerk, who is the founder of Spacebook, is coming by for dinner tonight. I want you to serve him grilled Minotaur fillet, Princess Irulan said. Minotaur fillet? Dia asked in confusion. Yes, a Minotaur is a mythological creature which lived on Crete in ancient Greece, Princess Irulan replied. If I might ask, why do you want to serve Minotaur fillet to Eric Buckerzerk? Dia asked. Because I want to serve him a unique dish. He served me the best Kobe beef in the solar system when I visited him. I want to up the stakes a level. It would be an enormous prestige for the Malaysian Empire to serve Minotaur fillet to our guests, Princess Irulan explained. Okay, Princess, I will make you proud, Dia said, bowed, and left the shooting range. Dia was having concerns about the mission ahead of her. Was she meant to travel back in time to kill the Minotaur of Crete during antiquity? She recalled the disastrous effects that occurred when she gave the Polish chef Sigismund smallpox-curing chili seeds. In that timeline, the Aztecs had conquered the world, and she had ceased to exist. What if killing the Minotaur would cause a similar outcome? Dia didn't want to argue with her monarch, however, so she needed to come up with a way to kill the Minotaur without altering history. She studied the history of the Minotaur, and she found out that the Athenian prince, Theseus, was the one who had killed the monster. According to legend, Theseus had emerged from the Minotaur's labyrinth while bringing the creature's head. But what happened to the rest of the body? That could be the perfect dinner for Princess Irulan to impress Eric Buckerzerk. Dia made up her mind. She would travel back in time and make a deal with Theseus. She would kill the Minotaur with her pistol, and he would get the fame for slaying the beast. What negative consequences could ever arise from such a plan? To prepare for her mission, Dia updated her universal translator with the Athenian Greek 800 BC language pack. She got dressed in a toga, holstered her pistol, and packed a few gold coins. After that, she activated her portable wormhole generator to travel back through time and space. Swoosh! As Dia landed in front of the Minotaur's labyrinth, she got drenched by torrential rain. The date was 15 February 812 BC, and she had landed in freezing winter rain. I should have packed a raincoat, Dia thought. Her body became warm when she saw a very handsome young man with a sword in his hand. That must be Theseus, Dia thought, and approached the man. Hi, Theseus. I'm Dialubis from the Malaysian Empire. Have you also come to kill the Minotaur? The man gave Dia a curious look and replied, Yes, I'm Theseus, the Prince of Athens. Why are you wearing a toga, my fair lady? Hearing the handsome man's compliment made Dia flush. She rarely received compliments for her looks, and Theseus's compliment was the highlight of her week. Dia brushed it off. She knew bad things could happen if she changed history. As far as she knew, The original timeline never involved a romance between a Greek prince and a Malaysian chef. My other clothes got ripped by the terrible Minotaur. I'm so happy that you came, so we can deal with the beast together, Thea said. Fear not, my lady. I will slay the beast in your name, Theseus replied. I was thinking that we could reverse the roles in the name of gender equality. I will slay the beast and you'll get the credit, Thea replied. But how will you slay the beast? You barely escaped, and you don't even carry a weapon, Theseus objected. I carry this boomstick, Thea said, and shot at a nearby tree. Theseus stared at Thea with a mix of awe and admiration. Eventually he replied, That is a very impressive weapon, Thea of the Malaysian Empire. Lead the way. Thea nodded, and the duo entered the Minotaur's labyrinth. Please, don't shoot, the Minotaur pleaded as he stood in front of his wife and a newborn baby. Thea reflected over the Minotaur's plea. She would not have any problem killing a bloodthirsty beast and serve its meat to her princess. But she didn't want to kill a gentle father of a newborn baby. Perhaps she could let the Minotaur live in peace and tell her monarch that she couldn't acquire the dish. The worst that could happen was that Princess Irulan would get mad at her. However, she could find another princess that wouldn't ask her to travel back in time to kill innocent mythological creatures. Okay, you swayed my heart. But I must know, how come you speak Greek? Thea asked the Minotaur. What other language would I speak? Would it make sense for us to create a language of our own? Of course not. That's why we're speaking the same language as the locals, the Minotaur explained. Okay, we'll let you live in peace in your labyrinth, Thea said. Hold on, Theseus interjected. We cannot let this monster go. He kills 7 Athenian youths and 7 Athenian maidens every year, Theseus exclaimed. I thought they were willing sacrifices in your religious ritual to worship me. I'm happy to leave this labyrinth and stop killing humans if that's your preference, the Minotaur replied. Okay, I have heard enough. Be nice and don't argue, Theseus, Thea said, and activated her wormhole generator to travel back to the future on the Europa moon. Thea knew that she had messed up when she woke up in Cerealia instead of in her room at the Malaysian space colony on the Europa moon. Finkerbell, the mother fairy, approached her and spoke. Dear Lupis, why do you keep messing up timelines with your wormhole travels? I'm sorry, Finkerbell. I should have rejected Princess Irulan's request to acquire Minotaur fillet, Thea apologized. No, that wasn't your mistake, Finkerbell exclaimed. I don't understand, Thea replied. Your mistake was to not kill the human bull hybrid. After you left, the Minotaur killed Theseus. With no one left to stop them, the Minotaurs conquered Crete and eventually the whole world, Finkerbell revealed. Okay, I guess today is not the day to become a vegetarian. Send me back and I'll deal with the Minotaur, Thea replied. Finkerbell nodded, snapped her fingers, and sent Thea back through time and space. Zing! Theseus was on the ground, and the Minotaur was about to chop him with his axe when Thea returned to the labyrinth. In a way, this was a relief for Thea. She had hated the prospect of killing an innocent mythological being. However, seeing how aggressive the Minotaur became as soon as she wasn't there with her boomstick, she felt less guilty. She shot the Minotaur between the eyes, just in time to save Theseus's life. After shooting the Minotaur in the head, Thea aimed her pistol towards the female Minotaur holding the baby. The female Minotaur pleaded, Please spare me. I'm a peaceful bovine. It's not my fault that my husband, Minos had such a temper. Dia paused for a moment to think. If she spared the female Minotaur and messed up the timeline, Tinkerbell would probably save her again. She decided to give it a shot because she still believed in giving people and mythological creatures a chance to better themselves. You cannot coexist with humans, so I will take you to another place. There won't live any humans in New Zealand for another 2,000 years. This gives you the chance to live out your days in peace, Dia said. Thank you very much, human. What is your name? The female Minotaur asked. My name is Dia Lubis, Dia replied. I'm Sarah, and this is my daughter Helen, Sarah replied. Dia turned to Theseus and spoke. Theseus, you cannot tell anyone what happened here. Tell everyone that you killed the Minotaur. After that, sail back to Athens with black sails. You will become the king of the city, and your name will forever be remembered. I will do that. Thank you, Dia from the Malaysian Empire. Theseus replied and hugged Dia. Dia hugged Theseus for a long time before she finally let go. She gathered the Minotaurs in her proximity. After that, she teleported to New Zealand, took farewell of Sarah and Helen, and teleported back to the Europa moon with Minos' body. Princess Irulan stared at Dia in shock as she entered the royal dining room while carrying a large platter of grilled Minotaur meat. After a few seconds of silence, she exclaimed, Dia Lubis, what is that hideous thing that you're serving? You asked me to bring you Minotaur steak to serve you and Eric Bugazerk, Dia protested. I certainly did not. I asked you to cook rainbow trout. Eating beef has been banned worldwide for hundreds of years. As a chef, you should know this, Princess Irulan reprimanded. I'm sorry for my inappropriate humor, Princess Irulan. This is a soy-based meat as I couldn't find any good trout, Dia lied. Dismissed, Dia. You'll need to take a course in court etiquette before you serve me again, Princess Irulan said with a cold voice, and Dia hurried to leave the dining hall. As she went back to her room, Dia checked SpaceNet to find out what changes in the timeline her actions had caused. Apparently, she had changed the world for the better. Being mythological creatures, Sarah and Helen had not aged and they were still living in a sanctuary in New Zealand. The mother and daughter had preached love and understanding, and they were respected worldwide. To honor Sarah and Helen, humanity had stopped killing and eating cows. An act of mercy can have a ripple effect that changes the future. The end.